Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live special New Year's Eve edition. Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, on the final day of the year 2024. Hope everybody had a good 2024 and wish everybody the best going into 2025. Might do another show today. Not sure. Might be a college football episode, so bear with me on that. I'm going to find out, but not quite sure yet. But if this is the last one, man, I hope you've enjoyed all the content we've worked hard to put out for you all year long. And it's just going to continue. The show is going to get bigger and better for 2025, inshallah. So, yeah, y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know what time it is. If you're here, first of all, if you're here, thank you for being here. Second of all, hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're sharing the show. Do all those things as we continue to grow and continue to work with you for you, to put out this quality sports content, man. Also, if you are so inclined and you see it while you are watching the replay of this, make sure you go ahead and join the channel, man, because we have some good stuff in store and planned for you. So when we get some channel members going, then we will go ahead and start pushing that stuff out, man. Make sure that all my day ones know how special that they are. So appreciate all of you. Excuse me. So yeah, we are going to do a show, as you can see, about the one and only LeBron James Sr. We are going to do some talking about old Bron, definitely. But in the meantime, let me give a couple of minutes here, see if we get some people in the chat. And once that happens, we are going to go ahead and get the ball rolling. But if not, it'll just be me, and I will give my thoughts. And, you can either pop in live now or you can watch it on the replay later. So I'm going to give a couple minutes, see if we can go ahead and get some traffic in here, and then we'll do it, man. We'll rock and roll, because definitely have some interesting. I have some thoughts on this, man, and I just, I had to do it, man. I had to do it one more time for 2024. So let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. In the meantime, though, man, I got to say, before we get started on this main topic, I'm just really excited, looking forward to. I think we got Penn State and Boise State tonight in the first of the college football playoff games, and then we'll have the other three tomorrow. So I think that's the Fiesta Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, where both teams, I think, are undefeated in their histories. So definitely looking forward to that one, seeing how Penn State is going to attempt to shut down Ashton Genty, the Heisman Trophy runner-up, who is one of the best running backs in the country and just has had one of the best seasons in the history of college football, running the football this year. So definitely looking forward to that. I tell you, if Penn State can't figure that out, Boise's got a chance. If not, Boise's in big trouble. Penn State has an elite defense. But then, of course, tomorrow we've got the other three college football playoff games. You have Texas and Arizona State, I believe, in the Cotton Bowl. And you have, what's the other one? Of course, Notre Dame and Georgia tomorrow night in the Sugar Bowl, and Ohio State and Oregon in the Rose Bowl. So 3 really good games tomorrow, and hopefully a good game tonight. So definitely looking forward to that. If you're a college football fan, those should be really good. But all right, let's go ahead and let's just get started here on this one. So today is December 31st, as we talked about. And yesterday was obviously December 30th. And yesterday was LeBron James's 40th birthday. And why is that a big deal? Obviously, because LeBron James has had one of, if not arguably the most impressive career in NBA history, maybe in basketball history. We know that this is a guy who is top 5 all-time in assists. He's number 1 all-time in scoring, not just in NBA history, but in professional basketball history globally, which is a tremendous accomplishment. He's the best statistical performer this far into a career ever. I want to say there's only been 32 players in NBA history that have played into their 40s, and he is by far the highest performing one out of all of them in terms of statistical production. Now, how you feel about that statistical production is a totally different issue, but he continues to put up numbers. I think he's at about 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 23.5 points this year. So really putting up great numbers for someone who's played this long. No one who's ever played this long has put up this type of production. So shout out to LeBron for that. Now, we'll get a little later into what exactly that means, why he's still around, etc. But on his face, shout out to LeBron for the production that he's putting out, and realistically for the fact that he is still, for whatever reason, the face of the NBA. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing, just speaking to his longevity and his greatness. Could be a bad thing because that means that the NBA has done a poor job of finding and properly marketing whoever is going to be the next guy. Now, on the Saturday night episode, we talked about whether or not LeBron's time in the league has been his era, and you guys know my stance on that. If you watch the show, I don't believe at all that it's been his era. There's been just too many guys that ate on his watch, despite, again, all his amazing statistical production and the fact that he's been to the finals 10 times, but all that losing and, his rival, Steph Curry, his primary rival, that is, has just the same number of championships as he does. And then, of course, you've got, other guys who ate on his watch, your Tim Duncans, your Paul Pierces, your Kawhi Leonards, et cetera, right? So Dirk Nowitzki, just too many instances of him losing on the biggest stage. And then, of course, we've seen some flame outs and meltdowns. But regardless, he's still here. He's still doing it while all those other guys other than Steph Curry are pretty much gone. So you just say, okay, big ups to LeBron. So anyway, yesterday he turns 40, and he's been in the league since he was 18, because this is his 22nd season. And so you start to, you're at the end of an all-time great career. You're at the end of a guy who's been around for so long. You're at the not the end, but getting close to the end of a guy who has been so polarizing in this sport and in sports in general and throughout the sports media. You start getting to the end of a career for a guy who has just done a whole lot over a long period of time and kind of has had people feeling very differently about him. Some people love him, think he's the greatest of all time. Some people don't feel that way, right? There's different sides to this thing. But as we saw that throughout the sports world, we saw just a number of tributes, whether it's in the mainstream or independent media, in terms of, LeBron turning 40, because for most men, that's kind of a middle point in their life, 40 years old. And so to see that, okay, he's turning 40, but he's still doing what he's doing. He's still out there doing presumably what he loves, as well as what he does at the highest level for anyone who's ever played this long. I guess it deserves some tributes, but it was weird to me because if you know me, you know that I'm a guy that I've often been regarded as a quote unquote LeBron James hater. But that's really not the case. More so when it comes to me and when it comes to LeBron, it's a situation of me pointing out the other side of the coin that you don't hear most of the time from mainstream media, or that you don't hear from many LeBron fans, etc. And so that gets you branded and labeled as a hater because they're so used to hearing the hero worship, the LeBron James can walk on water, and LeBron James can heal the sick, and LeBron James can raise the dead, and all of that stuff. So when you present the other side, factually, I might add, and present the evidence to prove what you're saying, people say, oh, you're a hater. You just a hater, old head hater, and you hating on Bron, and you wake up at blah, 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 all this crap, right? So I get accused of that often. But the fact is, again, I present the other side of the coin that most people aren't used to seeing. And, that's fine if you feel that way, but I'm going to continue to tell the truth. Not my truth, not your truth. There's none of that. There is only the truth. And the truth is, he's not what he says. He's not what they say. And the evidence is out there to prove it. If you want to, take your LeBron goggles off and just look. But anyway, this is a guy who the tributes were flying in. Obviously, ESPN did a lot of tributes to him. They did tributes to him on SportsCenter. They talked about it on all the sports shows, Fox Sports 1. Everybody talked about it. Even Skip Bayless, his one of his biggest critics in the mainstream media, he did a little segment on the Skip Bayless show, and which I'll play for you here shortly. He did a little segment, and he did not criticize the man at all, which, okay, I mean, Skip didn't want to criticize him, and that's going to be what it's going to be, even though it's very interesting. Kind of Skip made he made his I guess his bones. What's up, Steve? What's going on, brother? What's going on? So Skip Bayless is he's a longtime sports journalist, but in terms of the TV sports media where he really became famous and got his national attention, he made a lot of that off of really going at LeBron while everyone else was choosing to worship LeBron. So that is what that is. But I did think it was interesting. So let me say this about LeBron. LeBron is an absolute master of utilizing the media to achieve his means. We've seen him do this for his entire career thus far, right? We've seen him manipulate media members. We know that for a fact. You can disagree all you want, but it's been said on national TV, right? By Stephen A. Smith, by Kendrick Perkins, by others. We know that he does this. If people say things that he doesn't like, he basically sends Clutch Sports, his media arm, out to get at them behind the scenes and try to make them change their words, so he definitely does his Geppetto and Pinocchio thing, right? We know this is what the guy does, but it's out there. And so I've been a guy who says that while LeBron James has been amazing throughout his career in terms of what he's been able to accomplish, so much of it to me has been contrived. And when I say contrived, what do I mean by that? I mean contrived in the way that other guys didn't have to be contrived, in a way that other guys didn't have to freaking yes, Steve, the media, that's a fact. In a way that other guys didn't have to freaking do it because they were just going out there and doing their work, and they didn't have to take the backdoor channels and do all these other things to try and get accolades and attention maybe they were less deserving of. And so when I speak about that in terms of LeBron, we look at a guy like Kobe. Kobe was never begging to the media, do this, do that, right? He was never sending people to try and control the spin and control the way he was presented. What did Kobe do? Get in the gym, work on his game, and dominate on the floor. And that is what's the most important thing. That's what Michael did. That's what basically all the other all-time greats before him did. Now, here's the thing. LeBron James took advantage of the era that he lives in, technology, social media, etc. Can we blame him for that? Yes and no. We can't blame him in that the tools were there, so he utilized them. We can blame him in that he consistently tried to cheat the path that all the other all-time greats had to use to get to their position in history. And that is something I don't like, right? But anyway, again, that's going to be what that's going to be. So back to the 40th birthday. Happy birthday, Bron. This is belated, of course, but we saw him, all right? I'm sorry, not we saw him. We saw the major sports, the mainstream sports media, and even some of the independent media really going Google Gaga over this guy and doing all these tributes, et cetera, et cetera. And LeBron has achieved a great many things in his life, right? I think he has the most points in the NBA in history in his teens. He's got the most points in his 20s, 30s, and now 40s, right? So he's got all that. He's the all-time leading scorer, as I previously mentioned. He's the fastest to the different scoring marks. Again, he came into the league very young, took no time, but it is what it is, right? Those stats are going to be there. The problem is, unfortunately, when the older guys like me and the guys that came before me are all gone, now who's going to control the mainstream sports media? Who's going to control that? The guys that are going to control that are the guys that are now, kissing LeBron's feet and all that, right? Those are the guys that are going to control the mainstream sports media. So they are going to continue to change the narrative. And LeBron is and his arm are going to make sure that happens. Totally get it. But it's unfortunate because nuance and context are going to be lost, and all we are going to see are the numbers. And why are the numbers important? Because the numbers for a lot of modern day quote unquote basketball fans, the numbers are what dictate everything for everybody, right? They love to point to the advanced stats and the analytics and this, that, and the third, but they don't look at context, right? If you looked at it, a big part of why LeBron has been able to eclipse Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in scoring, and Karl Malone, of course, in the all-time scoring, is not because he can't score, right? No one would say that. It's not because obviously he's an all-time great scorer. No one would argue that. But a big part of it is what? The threes, right? When those guys that came before him on that list, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar made either 1 or 2 3-pointers in his entire career. Why does that matter? For the first 10 years of his career, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't even have threes to shoot. And secondly, he played in an era where, as a big man, coaches were not going to have him out there shooting threes. All right, they're going to say, "Hey, get on the block and go to work," or get out in transition and go to work. As it should be for the most part as a big. So LeBron took advantage, of course, of the era and the rules, and he shot a ton more threes, and he played his whole career with threes. When Michael Jordan came into the league, the three-pointer in the NBA had only been in existence for about 4 or 5 seasons. Michael Jordan came into the league in 1984. I believe the first year the three was the 79-80 season was the first year the three was available to shoot for extra points in the NBA. And so when Michael Jordan came into the league, it was still a league where you didn't shoot a lot of threes. For instance, I love to point to the fact that Michael Jordan's highest scoring single season average was 37 points per game. And he scored 37 points per game in that era, more physical, a lot of dominant big man rim defenders, a lot of big bodies in the paint. He scored 37 points per game while only making 12 3-pointers. 12. So anyway, I say this to say LeBron has shot a ton more threes in his career than Michael Jordan. And I did the math a while back. I actually should have brought that up for you. But if Michael Jordan had shot the number of threes LeBron has shot in his career, even at Michael Jordan's career 3-point percentage, he would have been the all-time leading scorer. But so be it, right? Different game. He didn't do that. It is what it is. But anyway, we see all these 40-year-old tributes, and LeBron is the best at 40. LeBron is the best, this, that, and the third. We got to do LeBron. And it's just, to me, it's frustrating because so much of it is disingenuous, whether it's by the sports entity itself or the reporter or the anchor or whoever that's doing it, even though the reporter or anchor probably is not the one writing this stuff. They're just reading it off the prompter. But anyway, it's disingenuous because it doesn't include everything. But when you do, a 2 to 5 minute package, there's no way you can include all the context. So you just do what you do. And it drives me crazy because it's frustrating. But anyway, back to LeBron now. LeBron has mastered this media thing because he does have control over most of the mainstream media, and he's smart enough to know that whatever he says is going to garner a tremendous amount of attention. So earlier in the season, one of the things I noticed was he said that it was his goal to play 82 games. I don't know if that was right at the beginning of the season or if that was before the season started or what have you, but he said his goal was to play those 82 games. Now, here's my question. Why would LeBron James, after having accomplished everything he's accomplished, yes, sir, Nino, this is live. Good morning, sir. Good morning. My main man, Nino Action Jack. What's good, bro? So, yes, why would LeBron James feel like he needs to play 82 games at age 40 with everything he's already accomplished? Could it be because Michael Jordan, the guy that he's still chasing for GOAT status? I don't know why he's chasing Michael Jordan for GOAT status. He's not close to it, but that's a different story. But Michael Jordan played 82 games at age 40. Gee, you don't say. It's so surprising to me that nobody really picked up on that. Like, you didn't hear anyone in the mainstream sports media say it. I guess they picked up on it. They just didn't want to put it out there like that. But yeah, Michael Jordan played 42 games at age 40, and he did it with, broken down knees and stuff like that. So that's why LeBron wanted to do it, because everything Jordan does, he feels that he needs to try and do to try and prove some sort of point, or he's got to try to one up Michael Jordan, because had he managed to play the 82, he would have said, oh, well, they would have said he played 82 games. And not only did he play 82 games, he averaged more than Michael Jordan points, rebounds, assists. Okay, got it. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, LeBron is averaging 23 and a half, 7.9 rebounds and 9 assists. The 9 assists are pretty impressive, although playing with LeBron, like, you kind of, yes, he's getting the assists and he's got them throughout his career, but you kind of, to some extent, got to take that with a grain of salt, because most of the time LeBron doesn't run a real system, and it's, everybody just has to be in a spot for the most part and wait for LeBron to get them the ball. So it's not organically running an offense and getting guys involved and getting assists. It's playing a very certain way in a very specific scheme to benefit LeBron and get his numbers up. So quick side note, we saw the Lakers come out hot at the beginning of the year, right? And why was that? Why was that? That was Anthony Davis really going off, the Lakers playing through Anthony Davis. And for years, we've been hearing that LeBron wanted to hand over the reins to Anthony Davis and make it his team. But they kept scapegoating Anthony Davis, saying AD doesn't want it. AD can't stay healthy, this, that, and the third. Okay. But this year, we see AD come out, really start getting busy. And then if you notice, all of a sudden, LeBron has to start taking over again, right? He's got a 31.1 usage rate this year, pretty high. I think that's one of his top 5 usage rates in his career. So he's got to have the ball in his hands all the time. He's got to control everything. Why? His ego won't allow somebody else to really be the man. Like, he can't take that. And this is what I said, even when that was happening earlier in the year, like the Lakers were doing their thing and Anthony Davis was getting busy. I said, this is not going to last, because LeBron, no matter what he says, see, this is the thing. People believe what LeBron says instead of watching what he's given us for the last 22 years. When have you seen LeBron realistically be a guy that could step back and let somebody else do it? He can't. He's not built that way. And it would be one thing if he was dominant to the point of being able to completely take over in every case, but the right way. Like Michael Jordan was the man, and he didn't have to go through backdoor machinations to be that. Same with Kobe, but again, is what it is. So back to currently this season, I think the Lakers at this point are like 18-13. So they're playing half decent ball, and LeBron is 4th in the league in assists with nine per game. So definitely moving the basketball, and he's getting it to guys in scoring position. So credit due for that. But again, I always take his assists with a grain of salt, just based on how he goes about getting them, and the fact that guys have to be playing in a very, very specific way, because it's not organic for him to get them the basketball in scoring position. It's just not. But okay, we got what we got, right? So let's do this, right? We were treated, I can honestly say, we were treated on Christmas night to a great game with LeBron and Steph, Lakers and Golden State, right? And we watched those guys go back and forth. I think LeBron had 31, Steph had 38, and it was tremendous. And Steph almost pulled off that win, but the Lakers got it. LeBron was denied the basketball on the final possession. Austin Reeves got it on the inbound, turned the corner, went right to the rim on Andrew Wiggins. If you're Andrew Wiggins, come on, man. How does that happen? How do you let Austin Reeves get the rock and go straight to the rim on you and score? Like, that shouldn't happen. At the very least, why didn't you foul that man? Foul that man and keep him from scoring. Put him on the line. Do something. Like, either foul him or stop him. I don't get it, man. You're faster than him. You're more athletic than him. Like, that, you're a better defender than him. That shouldn't have happened. But I think you took poor position. He got basically what we like to call in football. He got inside leverage on you, went straight to the rim, and so he got it. But again, at the very least, if you couldn't get the stop, you should have fouled him. But I guess that's not really the way modern players think, right? So yeah, if that's back in the day, they would have put him on the line and made him earn that win. But again, it's not back in the day. So great finish by Austin Reeves, who actually I think finished with a triple-double in that game, like 26, 10, and 10. So really good. Bruce, what up, man? What up? Cyber Bruce, you act like all great men didn't do things we didn't like. That's true. But okay, so for me, I'll say this, different sport. Muhammad Ali didn't really do things I didn't like. Back to basketball. Michael Jordan didn't really do things I didn't like. Back to basketball. Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem, your dream. Didn't really do things that I didn't like. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, the point is, when it comes to LeBron, it's weird because for me, he does a lot of things I don't like. Now, again, I gave him his flowers for what he has been able to do throughout his career, but I'm not going to be the guy. And I don't know why you're watching this show looking for me to be the guy that's going to worship LeBron. That's never, ever going to happen. Let's see. Steve says Reeves will cook Wiggins. I'm no LA fan, you know this, but Reeves has some game. No, he has some game, but he's not cooking Andrew Wiggins. If Andrew Wiggins has the right mindset, right? But and unfortunately, a lot of times he doesn't. I don't know what's the deal with that. But anyway, we got treated to that great game. The Lakers end up winning, and then of course we hear on ESPN later that night they were going over it with the I guess the countdown crew or whatever. So it's Stephen A, Malika Andrews, Kendrick Perkins were in studio, and Malika Andrews says some of her usual nonsense. Let's check it out. We'll be right back.
Look at this. The most 30-point career games. LeBron James just one shy of tying your GOAT, Stephen A.
Stop? LeBron James is phenomenal. He's great. He's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. He's not Michael Jordan. LeBron James in his 22nd season. Michael Jordan played 15.
It's just one stat.
Why are we
one stat
the other day I brought up the buzzer beaters. Look, Michael Jordan outscored him 9-7 in buzzer beating game winners. But guess what? LeBron has played 7 more years. Can we stop?
We can for now. We can. It's just a stat. It wasn't meant to attack you personally. But let's talk about a little bit more greatness.
Attacking Michael Jordan.
So see, this is the stuff I don't get, man. This is the stuff I don't get, and this is a big one, right? The disingenuousness must continue. The disingenuousness must continue. How do you talk about, like, seriously, how do you talk about LeBron James passing Michael Jordan in career 30-point games or being one game shy of that? How do you do that knowing LeBron is in his 22nd season and Michael Jordan only played 15? Like, what sense does that make to anybody with a functioning brain? That's just like, come on, man. So I guess now they're going to use that when he eventually passes Michael Jordan to say, well, he's a better scorer than Jordan. Look, he got more 30-point games and he got a longer 10-point game streak, even though we know that if you watch, there's a lot of times when he should be out of the game, but he makes sure he gets that double digits before he sits down. The dude is definitely stat padding. Like, he's doing that across the board. That's why that's why he's still playing. This is not a function of he's still playing for love of the game or he's still trying to win. No. He knows what he's doing. He's out here trying to put up numbers because he thinks that's a further separator in the GOAT case. But what people don't understand is those numbers you're putting up, they're fraudulent because you're stat padding and they're not contributing to winning. It's ridiculous. Let's see. I swept Jordan BS under the rug. I don't know what you're talking about, Bruce. What Jordan BS, but it's all good, man, because I know this is what LeBron fans like to do. They love to engage in whataboutism. Well, what about what Jordan did? Well, what about this? What about that? Well, we talking about your boo. We're talking about your boo, but it's all good. That's what you have to do because, as I've said time and time again, LeBron's game does not stand on its own. It does not merit the attention that it's gotten. He doesn't merit the attention that he's gotten, despite his incredible longevity and statistical production. So, I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be, man. I keep saying that, but it's so frustrating. That's why I had to get out here this morning because, you know, I just hear this guy over and over and the people around him. And then, of course, all the birthday stuff yesterday. And I'm like, man, you got to be freaking kidding me. So that was the first thing about the Christmas Day game. Then, of course, we have LeBron again, the master of media, and he says this in the post-game interview.
I love the NFL, but Christmas is our day.
Really? Christmas is your day? Come on, LeBron, man, stop. You can say Christmas has traditionally been a huge day in the NBA season. Don't say Christmas is our day when the NFL has blatantly come over, slapped you, and taken it from you. Christmas is no longer your day. The NFL took that from you easy, like taking candy from a baby. So there's no, I love the NFL, but Christmas is our day. You can't say that. And he said that unprompted. He wasn't even asked a question about it. He was walking away and came back to make that stupid statement. Like, are you aware that the NFL consistently trounces you because it has a better product and because you're a big part of why so many people dislike and have turned away from the NBA? You're a big part of it, LeBron. If we're real here, we got to talk both sides. Yes, has LeBron been one of the biggest draws, if not the biggest draw in the NBA for the last 2 decades? Yes. Is he also a huge part of why so many people are disgusted by the NBA? Yes. Right? I mean, we got to be real here. And I don't know why it's so hard or so many people are adverse to giving both sides of this thing. It really drives me nuts. But that's what I'm here for, because I'm going to give it. I'm going to tell it how it is. Right? Now, again, not my truth, not your truth, only the truth. 1 + 1 is 2. It can never be 5. It doesn't matter who thinks it is. It's always going to be 2. So the truth is not subjective. The truth is objective. But anyway, moving right along. So we got all this stuff happening again. Happy birthday, Bron. 40 years old, right? And so, so here's the next thing, right? Of course, we've been kind of, and LeBron is milking this, right? I think he's milked this since last year or the year before. This whole thing of people are starting to wonder, okay, when is LeBron going to step away, right? Because some people, I'm sure, would love to see the guy play forever. Some people would love to see him go away, like myself. I'm not going to lie, because I'm ready for the next iteration of the NBA, the next iteration of NBA superstars, and hopefully we'll see some changes both in mentality and in gameplay that will get the NBA back to a better position, the position that most of us knew and loved growing up watching it, right? And so I would rather see him go away. But regardless, people are wondering, like, hey, how long you going to play LeBron? This, that, and the third. And one of the things was funny. I think this was last year, and I got into it with a bunch of people when I did a short or Instagram reel or whatever, and I was talking about LeBron and his commentary saying, well, he doesn't know if when he's ready, if he'll just step away quietly like Tim Duncan, or if he'll do a farewell tour because he may owe that to his fans that have been with him from the beginning. And I'm like, here he goes again, saying something stupid just to get attention. And you know what? If we're fair, he says these things to get attention, and what? We all give it to him, right? I'm sitting here talking about it right now. Why? Because as content creators, he gives us a ton to talk about. So thank you, LeBron. I respect that. I appreciate you. But anyway, he's saying he doesn't know if he would ever just step away like Tim Duncan did. Of course he wouldn't step away like Tim Duncan did. Tim Duncan had no ego. LeBron is an egomaniac, arguably the greatest egomaniac that we've ever seen in professional sports. That dude is wild. I've never seen a greater attention hoard in this guy. I've never seen anything like it. That includes Michael Jordan and everybody else. It's like he has to have it, right? Let's think about this. Let's say there's a stretch going on in the league of like a month, and somebody else is really cooking, getting busy. Some other team is really doing their thing. Immediately, LeBron James has to jump out there and say something crazy because these guys say, look at me, look at me, look at me, right? He needs that. Now, is there a business aspect of it to staying relevant? Absolutely. But LeBron is always going to be relevant because he's LeBron, but he has to have the cameras and the attention on him, the spotlight, because he's a look at me kind of guy. He must have that, right? So anyway, LeBron, he made that comment. We just heard about the NBA. And then back to the other point was, so he says that he doesn't know if he'll step away quietly like Timmy or if he'll go for the farewell tour. He knows he has to have the farewell tour because he needs his ego stoked in every stop along the way of his final season. So he knows that, and he knows they're going to make a big deal out of that. I'm sure, maybe he wants the rocking chair like they gave the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his way out in his final season, or, he wants these, 2 to 5 minute standing ovations every time it's his last spot somewhere. And don't get me wrong, all the greats have large egos, but never anything like this guy, right? And so the questions are being asked more and more now. Hey, how much longer do you think you can do this? And this was interesting because I think it was yesterday after practice, he was asked this question. And so here was his response. I thought it was very telling, and it was very typical of LeBron James. Why? Because he knew that it would get the conversation started around him again. Let's check that out and be right back and talk about it.
Will it be that tells you it's enough?
It won't be because I can't play this game at a high level. It won't because to be honest, if I really wanted to, I should probably play this game at a high level for about another weird, I might say, about another 5 to 7 years if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do that.
So, so LeBron was asked, you couldn't really hear because it was at practice again. At the end of practice, guys were dribbling and shooting and all that. But he was asked by the reporter kind of, what's going to let you know when it's time, roughly, right? And he says, well, he doesn't know. It's not going to be, it would be when he can't play the game at a high level. And he believes that he can continue to play the game at a high level for another 5 to 7 years, but he's not going to do that. Are we serious, Bron? We serious, man? You still with this? First of all, we're not 30 games into this season. Well, maybe we are. 31 games in, 18 and 13, 31 games into this season, and you've already taken, an extended sabbatical because obviously you needed rest. Man, what makes you think that you can play another 5 years? Nah, Steve, LeBron's not going to play another 5 years because no matter the fact that he's still putting up better numbers at this point than anyone who's ever played this long, he can't continue to put up the numbers. And first of all, we know he already is a liability because he plays no defense, which is sad because he hasn't played defense for like the last 10 years. And that was, when he was physically at right around prime peak LeBron. So he hasn't played defense since then, but he definitely plays no defense now. How long, even for LeBron, do we think he can get away with not defending, just standing there, barely getting up and down court and, getting on other people about not defending, just being a liability on the floor? How long can he be that? And it occurs to me with his legs going, he has to control the ball even more. So that's not going to be better for the teams that he plays on. That's going to boost the usage rate up even more, right? Because one, we know that skill-wise, he's never been a good off-the-ball guy. And we also know, too, that he's in a position where if he's got the ball, he can control everything that's happening, and he can rest not only on defense, but on offense as well. So I can't possibly see this guy playing another 5 years. All that's going to continue to do is get guys traded and get coaches fired. But, that is what it is, right? And again, I'm really sitting back and I'm interested to see how long this JJ Redick thing lasts, because we know that once you're of no more use to LeBron, he will jettison you. He will get rid of you because, that's how he is. But so he says, if I could play at a high level, I could play another 5 to 7 years, but I'm not going to do that. Why did he do that? Because he knows good and damn well that saying that is going to stoke the conversation. We're sitting here talking about it right now. Let's see. Steve says, do you really think he's going to give up all the attention? I'm not betting on it. I say another 5. No, he doesn't want to give up the attention, Steve, but he's going to be forced to, right? Because you don't think he already hears the chatter in terms of people looking and seeing that he is a diminished version of himself. And even though he's getting his numbers, the numbers are not helping winning. Everyone knows he's stat padding. Everyone's seen it out there, right? So I don't think that he's going to be able to deal with people saying that openly about him, because one thing we notice is that we're hearing more and more people in the sports media, former teammates, players, all that. People are really talking, and they're telling more and more truth about LeBron, right? They're not holding their tongues nearly as much as they did when he was in his prime. Even though when he was in his prime, yeah, he was getting busy, but he still, always had that losing finals record. Excuse me. So we're hearing more and more of that, and I don't think LeBron is going to like people telling the truth about him more and more as he goes. And so it's just, man, this whole thing to me is just so bonkers. Again, happy 40th birthday, Bron. This for you, man. This for you. This is a celebration right here. All right, so let's do this now. I mentioned earlier, Skip Bayless has been one of LeBron's biggest critics in the national sports media, and I thought it was interesting because the way he went at LeBron, between LeBron and his Cowboy stuff, that vaulted him into the national sports media consciousness, right? He's been, again, a sports writer for a long time and very successful at that, wrote a number of books, etc. But this here is what really made people, from casual fans, etc., know about Skip Bayless, and it was his constant critique of LeBron James. And so he actually, on his show, with the Skip Bayless show or the Skip Bayless podcast or whatever, did a segment talking about LeBron, and it shocked me, and we'll play it because he flat out lied again too. So let's check it out, and we'll come back.
Happy 40th birthday, LeBron Raymond James Sr. Today, the greatest gift I can give you is just dozens of roses without a single thorn. All compliments without a single criticism. Nah, not on your 40th birthday. So here I go. Bron, you are still the best passer in basketball. At age 40, every night I watch you, every dribble. I sit back 2 or 3 times a night and I say, that's just so good. And Bron, you're also the greatest basket attacker ever. I have never
More
ever
lies.
seen anything like your ability to play bully ball, even at age 40. You're the greatest combination of force and finesse that I've ever seen, ever. And Bron,
More lies.
what's even greater than your passing or your driving is your enduring. You are simply the most durable superstar athlete ever.
He lied
You had
again.
no knee surgeries, no shoulder surgeries, no Achilles issues. You are the durability freak, the superhero, Iron Man without needing Tony Stark's suit. If the ultimate ability is durability, you are the king. Today, you will not hear a peep out of me about, nope. Today, I bite my tongue. Bite it off. Today, I salute you, LeBron James.
So I don't know what was Skip's point in doing that. And before I get into it, man, quick shout out to Bruiser Sir in the chat. What up, Bruce? Appreciate you sending me that clip this morning, man. I didn't even know about it till you sent it to me. So more ammunition, man. Appreciate you, Bruce. But anyway, yeah, Steve, that was crazy, right? It didn't even sound right. But it's not. I think he was just trying to be gracious again on, LeBron's 40th birthday. But why is it that because it's LeBron's 40th birthday, we have to come out here and flat out lie about this guy? Why do we have to do that? Why? All right, so let's do this first. He says, let's try to attack this as I can remember. He says LeBron is the greatest passer to basketball still in the NBA. Now, what do we mean by that? Are we using assists to measure that? Because again, one of the biggest things for me is when it comes to LeBron, you have to play a very certain way. You have to be in a very specific place on the floor in order for him to get you the basketball, right? So much of LeBron's game is and always has been drive and kick, right? It's not running organic offense. It's running the LeBron system, the list system as it's called. And we've seen that for, again, the last 22 years. And anytime we had a coach that tried to put him in a legitimate system, that coach had to go. Is what it is. Not my opinion. Just go back and look. But so LeBron is currently right now 4th in the NBA in assists at 9.0 per game. Trae Young leads at 12 per game. And realistically, I like the look of that. Cade Cunningham, the young gun, 9.7 assists per game. Jokic, 9.5. I really like what I'm seeing from some of these guys because that says that even though most of these teams are playing the same, just bombing a ton of threes and whatnot, you look at a guy like Trae Young, he is actually running real point guard, getting guys the ball in transition, getting the guys the ball in the half court, actually running sets and doing the driving kick. So not just that, right? Not just, a very specific way like it is with LeBron James. So can we even say that LeBron James is the best passer in the league right now? I don't know that we can say that. How can Skip definitively say that? Is he trying to just give LeBron some credit, get back in people's good graces, especially on his 40th birthday? Maybe so. But I don't know that we can definitively say LeBron is the greatest passer in the league. Okay, next. LeBron is the greatest attacker of the basket we've ever seen. Combination of bully ball and finesse. I think that's what Skip said, something to that effect. Is he really the greatest attacker of the basket we've ever seen? Oh, there's a guy named Shaq, right? Yeah, okay. There's a guy named, half man, half amazing, Vince Carter. Okay. The human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins. Okay. That other 23, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And all these guys did it against, might I add, much tougher defensive presence, right? I don't know how we say LeBron is the greatest attacker of the basket of all time when he's in a league where generally when he beats his guy, there's not a legitimate rim protector in front of the rim, right? He came in 2003. So Shaq was on the downside of his career. Alonzo Mourning missed some time with the kidney ailment. And then by the time he got back, he was not the same guy. Still good, but not the same guy. Ben Wallace did get a couple of defensive players of the year, so he had that. But other than that, were there really those legitimate rim protectors, shot blockers? Tim Duncan wasn't a true center. They had him at power forward. So a lot of his stuff was help blocks. But for the most part, it wasn't an era where LeBron is going to the rim and he's finding Hakeem and D-Rob and Patrick Ewing and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all these guys Mark Eaton waiting in the paint, the Mount Mutombo to send your stuff out, right? So we really got to stop that. Charles Barkley, another elite attacker of the rim, right? So we really need to stop that. Also, in this era with so many threes being shot and so much of the paint being open, there's not true power forwards in there as well, along with the centers. So I really don't, I can't go with that. Daniel M, what's good, bro? Good to see you. Daniel M says, LeBron is the greatest attacker based on the eye test. Look at the way he finishes through contact compared to the other guys you just mentioned. No, I totally disagree. Is the contact he's facing the same as the contact those guys faced? Doubt it. Is the resistance getting to the rim the same as the resistance getting to the rim those guys faced? No, doubt it. LeBron is not the greatest attacker of the rim. He's just not. Now, is he an all-time great attacker of the rim? Absolutely. The greatest? No, that's a lie. All right, next up, another lie Skip Bayless told. What does he say? He's the most durable? He's the most durable? What? Can we stop? Durability is the greatest availability. Yes. So I get it if you're saying he's been able to play at the highest level for the longest. No argument there. But the most durable, let's try this. There's this guy named Karl Malone, the mailman, played 19 seasons, in the NBA. Retired number 2 leading scorer of all time. And he played 80 plus games 14 times in 19 years. That screams durability to me. And if we're real about it, if Karl Malone decides, hey, I'm gonna stay around, play another year or two, and if he didn't go to the Lakers because he so badly wanted a championship, he probably would have been the all-time leading scorer. Now, again, if was a fifth, right? He didn't end up doing those things, and so he ended up retiring at number 2, which is freaking crazy, but he could have been the all-time leading scorer, and he was more durable than LeBron James at roughly the same size. Okay, cool. Here's another guy. Now, we call this guy a plumber, right? I don't, but a lot of ignorant people do. They call him a plumber. They say he was weak, he was slow, this, that, and the third. But we know for a fact that his era was way more physical. We know that. John Stockton, the greatest passer and thief, not the greatest passer, but the greatest assist man and thief in NBA history. 80 plus games in 16 out of 19 NBA seasons. Let me say that again. 80 plus games in 16 out of 19 NBA seasons. And I want to say, you know what? Let's find out. Let me not take a gamble because I know he played 82 games a ton of times. How many times did John Stockton play 82 games? Let's see what AI says here. John Stockton played all 82 games in a season 16 times in his 19-year career. So Skip lied to us again, telling us LeBron is the most durable of the all-time great players. See, this is my problem. See, not y'all, but some people, a lot of people are going to call me a hater, but this is my problem. If hating is telling the truth, I'll be that. Explain to me, please, someone explain to me how LeBron is the most durable when we just debunked that with irrefutable fact. Not opinion, not my memory, that could be wrong. Not, I think, maybe so, but irrefutable fact. Explain to me how LeBron is supposedly the most durable. And explain to me why when we talk about LeBron, we have to lie so much. Somebody tell me that. Why do we have to lie so much? I just don't get it. So you see, Skip, in attempting to be generous and maybe attempting to get on the good side of LeBron fans, decided I'm going to give this guy his flowers on his birthday. But in order to do that, I'm going to lie. So when it comes to LeBron, why do we have to lie in order to give this guy his flowers? Another thing I just don't understand. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why? Let's see. Nino says, Skip knows LeBron got him rich. Yeah, you're probably right. And I mean, Skip was doing all right? He had best-selling books that he wrote about the Cowboys. He was, again, a long time, and I think award-winning sports journalist, a reporter. So he's been at this for a long time. A lot of people, again, just know him as a guy who freaking, sits on TV and talks nonsense or whatever, but not really the case. Like, he's got experience doing this thing for real. Now, did he take it to the next level when he got into, this whole debate thing in the opinion space? Absolutely, he did, but can't be mad at that. But yeah, it's just amazing to me how when it comes to LeBron, people they have to lie. And that is really what frustrates me, is the lying. I guess among other things, right? So yeah, we're looking at this thing, and 40 years old, 22 years in the league, absolutely amazing career. People say he's a Mount Rushmore player. I do not, because when it comes into it, for me, the losing is major and the lack of complete skill set is major. Now, has he put up a ton of numbers? Yes, but that is why he is playing so long, because for him now, it's all about numbers. He knows he's not going to win another championship. He knows that, but he's got to continue to put up the numbers. Steve said, this was a business decision by Skip to show he'll take the media dollars to sell the narrative. I don't know. I mean, Skip got a lot of bread. For the longest, he was the highest paid player, but the highest paid personality at Fox Sports 1, the highest paid talent. Skip's got a lot of bread. I don't know that this is a thing where he needs to be try to pander to the pro LeBron media in order to get more money. I can't see that. Plus, everybody would know it's totally phony with how much he's been on the attack all these years when it comes to LeBron. If he suddenly turned over a new leaf and turned into a LeBronite, like, that wouldn't make it. Everyone would know that's phony. I can't even see it happening that way. So I got to disagree with you on that, Steve. It was a funny take though. But yeah, so I guess what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and close out before I take calls. And I will do this. Let me go ahead and let's get a LeBron highlight package here. And I'm serious. And this is him, throughout his long time in the league. We see how just amazingly athletic the guy's been through his entire career, how the guy has hit a lot of big shots through his career. Can't front on that. Like, a lot of times he gets the narrative for not being clutch, and there's reasons for that. This Jason Terry thing, like, you really thought you were tough dunking on a guy who was 6'3"? I mean, why weren't you doing that in the finals when he was cooking you up? But anyway, great pass right there. Oh, there you go. He finally caught somebody under the rim. Why you would try to take the charge on LeBron, I don't know. I'd have just took him out of the air. Like, I guess I couldn't play today, man. I'll be like, nah, you're not getting away with that. But yeah, we just watched LeBron over the years, since he came into the league as a young fella, now to a grizzled old veteran, doing what he's doing. Yes, Steve, you said what you said, brother. You said what you said. But yeah, now we're watching LeBron still doing what he's doing, even as a grizzled, old veteran. And you know what else occurs to me? The reason that at this point in his career he needs even more rest is because his game has been so predicated on athleticism for the entire time, and he never worked on his skill set, that he can't really take breaks offensively when he's in scoring position, right? For instance, he has to, that's why he's shooting so many more threes now, but for the most part, he still has to try and get past you, and he's got to try to dunk. But if you notice, he's not dunking nearly as much anymore, right? The legs are gone. They're not nearly what they were. But when you look at a guy like a Jordan and a Kobe or these guys who played longer, what did they do as the athleticism began to wane, right? They worked on footwork. They had 1-2 dribble pull up. They had post game. They had all these different things that they could go to that weren't necessarily demanding so much of them physically, in terms of turning the corner, getting downhill, and then banging on somebody. Like, another guy who I think is going to unfortunately suffer when the athleticism really starts going is Giannis. I'm a huge Giannis fan. I love what he has made himself into over all these years that he's been in the league. But unfortunately, he's a guy that the skill set I don't think is ever going to match the athleticism. Not to say he doesn't put in the work. Although apparently his mid-range game has much improved. It'll never be pretty, but it's a lot higher percentage this season. So shout to Giannis on that. But this isn't about Giannis. Maybe that's something we could talk about another time. But yeah, LeBron, that's why he needs even more rest now. And that's why he's got to have the ball in his hands, because when he's got the ball in his hands, he can control the tempo. And when he can control the tempo, it gives him an opportunity to rest on offense as well as resting on defense. So those are all the different things that are going on. And yeah, so LeBron James, man, you have been I guess, a treasure to the NBA for the last 22 years in a number of ways, while you have also hurt the NBA in a number of ways. You know, you have initiated the player empowerment movement. You have single-handedly killed the dunk contest. You have single-handedly killed the competitive mentality in the league. So you've done all that. So fantastic for you. Fantastic for you. Let's see. Daniel M. Yeah, no doubt. I didn't say no improvements to his game. That's not what I said. But yes, he shot 41% from three last season. It took 21 years to get there to be a reliable three-point shooter. Come on, man. Come on. Now, that's also I know he's not shooting 41% from three this season. Let's see. What's he shooting from three? I could be wrong. Let me check myself before I make a definitive statement. Where are we? 3-point percentage. So he's at 35.7% this year from three. So, I mean, LeBron has had years throughout his career where he's gone off from three and he's made some shots, but he's never going to be a reliable three-point shooter. Let's see. Yeah, no improvements to his game. I didn't say that. But so here's the deal, right? Kobe was never reliant on shooting the three, Daniel. I appreciate what you're trying to do here, but you're going to lose this one because there's no way you can tell me that Kobe's offensive toolkit was not way more diverse than LeBron. He was able to go to a great many things. It wasn't necessarily with LeBron is he is indicative of this modern NBA, right? Shoot a three or get to the rim because there's not much in the middle, right? And so you can say it took Kobe that long too, but Kobe's game wasn't predicated on that. Kobe is one of the most dominant mid-range players we've ever seen. We know that. He was also one of the most elite post players among guards that we've ever seen. We know that. But with LeBron, he's either got to shoot the three, and he realized that he's got to shoot the three because he can't get downhill quite the same way that he once could and just go bang on somebody. Or if he gets the opportunity a couple times a game, he's going to take it to the rack and then pike on somebody's head, right? Or he's going to pike on an empty rim, right? Because we know that the elite shot blockers for the most part aren't there anymore. So it is what it is. There we go. I've been waiting for it. Thank you, Daniel. A LeBron hating session. No, a LeBron truth telling session. See, I don't sit here and I'm not going to worship the guy. I'm going to tell it how it is, right? And again, I don't know if you were here when I said it earlier. There's no my truth, your truth. There's only the truth. And I take pride in the fact that I don't make stuff up. Sunchance Kid, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. But yeah, that's what we got, man, when it comes to this LeBron thing and this 40 years old and all that. Again, has he had an all-time great career? Yes. Is he a Mount Rushmore player? Not in my book. Is he a top 5 player? Not in my book. Is he the GOAT? Absolutely not. And it's not close. That is a made up debate, which has sparked a great deal of discussion, a great deal of commerce. It's been very good for the league. It's been very good for independent creators for all these years. And I totally get it. But, I'm not falling for it. And shout out my main man, Opinion Stated, who has made it clear that he will no longer be engaging in the GOAT debate. And it's something that I try not to do as well, man, but it's hard. You keep getting pulled into it just because we are so kind of immersed in that thought process in the modern NBA. And also because we see what LeBron is consistently doing in terms of trying to manipulate situations, because we know what it's all about with him is his endless quest to try and surpass Michael Jordan. But the mere fact that he's got to do all this lets you know that it isn't close, but it is what it is. So let me do this. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the phone lines because I want to take a couple calls on this before I get out of here and let you guys enjoy the rest of your final day of 2024. So yeah, the number is right there on your screen. It's also scrolling on the bottom. That's 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. If you disagree with me, I would love that. If you agree with me, that's fine too. Go ahead, give me a call. Give me your thoughts on this whole thing. LeBron James, everything that we've seen for the last 22 years, LeBron James, 40th birthday, LeBron James, how the mainstream media has handled this 40th birthday. The fact that we got guys like Skip Bayless out here flat out lying, the fact that LeBron is such a master manipulator of the media. Yeah, just give me your thoughts overall, man. Give me your thoughts on what I had to say, etc. Yeah, but MJ doesn't have a Kodak moment with his kid in an NBA game. Steve, you're absolutely right. And that's another thing we know, right? This whole thing with Bronny, and I'm not going to get into that. I have episodes. You can go back in the archives on this channel and see where I broke all that down, man. But that whole Bronny thing was, that was just sad. That was just a fiasco. That was LeBron James using his own son and kind of putting him putting him in harm's way in terms of mental health and social media in order to, do what he wants. I thought that was super, super selfish for a guy who's known to be a great father. And again, I don't know if he's a great father or not. I would assume he is. I'm always going to give a guy credit for a guy who's there. I'm always going to give him credit for being the best father he can be. So I'm not taking that shot at all. But in that specific instance, I thought that was super, super selfish, and I totally disagreed with it. But you can check out the channel and see my thoughts on that, or hear my thoughts on that, either way. But yeah, I'm going to give it another couple minutes here. I would love to hear from anybody regarding this topic, so you can give me your thoughts on it. And if we don't get any calls, there we go. Here's my guy. What up, my guy? What up, Bruce? Man, I appreciate you, man. I didn't even know about it. I appreciate you sending me that, bro.
Man, what's wrong with Skip Bayless giving LeBron his flowers without demeaning him in the same segment like you just did?
Well, there's nothing wrong with giving him his flowers. There's something wrong with him blatantly lying to us as if our eyes and ears don't work for the last 22 years.
What did he lie about? He Skip saying LeBron the best passer for years. The most physical.
That's a lie.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. I said he lied about being the best passer. He's definitely not that right now in the league. He lied about being the best attacker of the rim he's ever seen. He lied about that.
Top three for sure.
Okay, well, we could argue that. But the best, he lied about that. He also lied about him being the most durable. He lied about that. So, yes.
Okay, well, he was the best attacker of basketball for a period of time in the league. Stop it, man. And probably still is one of the best when he feel like it.
Well, Skip said ever, though. Skip said ever. So that's
better than ever attack the basket, bro.
Dominique Wilkins, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, Shaq, Charles Barkley. Come on, man.
Stop it, bro.
Really?
Vince Carter's not better than no damn LeBron James. Stop
Going
it,
to the rim?
Huh?
Going to the rim? Seriously?
No, he's not. He probably got the best dunker of all time, yes. But trying to say that
I forgot about Dr. J. Okay.
Vince Carter is better than LeBron James attacking the basket.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Attacking the basket don't have everything to do with dunks, bro.
No, I understand that.
All that.
I understand that. But here's what you're missing too, right? Here's what you're missing. How can I be the best at something if my resistance level is lower than yours was? How can I be better than you? Real talk.
His resistance level, what you mean? For the defense a little bit easier nowadays?
The defense on the perimeter, as well as the defense at the rim and in the paint. And the way the floor is spread because of all the shooters. Most of the time when LeBron gets past his first guy, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's never dunked on anybody. That would be stupid and that would be a lie. But most of the time when he gets past his first defender, that's it. If you go back, this is why I talk about Michael Jordan having to dunk on D-Rob and Dream and Mount Mutombo and Shaq and Zoe and Kareem and Mark Eaton and all these dudes that Michael Jordan caught. And it's not even just the centers under the rim. You remember this back in the day. There were legitimate big man power forwards in the paint, not 230-pound guys who are 6'10" hanging out shooting threes to open the floor up, right? You know that and I know that. You're old enough to remember that, right? And so it was a different thing when you got to the rim. That's why I say, like, if the resistance is tougher and you get there and finish, that puts you above LeBron. Now, that's not LeBron's fault when he was born. It's not, but it is what it is. If let's say I'm a fighter, right? I'm a pro boxer. And I know you're boxing. I'm a pro boxer, and I fight whoever's the best guys in my era, and I'm 35-0, right? But now we look at Sugar Ray Leonard, who had to fight Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hitman Hearns and Roberto Duran and all these dudes. I think Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., I think he fought him. But anyway, the point is I got to fight a whole bunch of legends, right? Or if I'm Muhammad Ali and I had to fight Ken Norton and Joe Frazier and what's my man, Ernie Shavers and George Foreman and all these dudes, right? And now I come up today and I don't have nearly the same level of competition or the same level of difficulty on my road. How can you say that because somebody may have better numbers or a better record that they're better than me? They didn't have to do what I had to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, degree of difficulty has to matter. That's one of my biggest things. But go ahead.
So LeBron is to blame for the time So LeBron is to blame for the times changing, the defense changing, and the rules changing.
No.
He's to blame for that.
No.
So you basically said LeBron wouldn't. You basically saying LeBron wouldn't be doing the same shit he's doing now in the 90s.
That's absolutely what I'm saying. 1,000%. I've maintained that from the beginning.
Cut the crap, Bruce.
Okay.
I mean, man, LeBron is one of the most powerful players ever, fastest players ever in the league. Stop it, Bruce.
Okay.
6'8", 260, man. Stop it, Bruce.
Mm-hmm,
He's picking the most powerful forwards in the 90s, bro.
He's what?
Stop it, man. Just stop it. He about the same size as Dale Davis and Antonio Davis.
And I guarantee you, if the Davis boys are in the lane, LeBron ain't coming down there like that. Would you agree? Come on, man. He ain't coming down there like getting them freebies like he is now, man. You know that.
Stop. Give LeBron. Stop it, Bruce.
Okay.
Then I sit here and stuff about you. You blame LeBron for how the NBA downfall. Like, stop it, Bruce.
That he has a huge role in that. Is he responsible? Sorry, go.
2 points. Why?
Okay, so my biggest point why is he, in terms of popularity, he is single-handedly the reason why why the slam dunk contest went into the trash. Single-handedly the reason why. That's one.
Explain why. Explain your theory why, because it's not fact. It's a theory.
Okay, correct. You're right. It is my theory that he is single-handedly responsible for the death of the dunk contest, because when he didn't do it, he made it popular for other other super athletic wing players to not do it. Superstar level guys, right? Because think about it, prior to him, we know that your Jordans, your Dominiques, your Kobe's, your so on and so forth, all those guys did it. It was kind of one of those things you did to entertain the fans if you were that level of player. But since him, we have not seen another superstar level wing player do it. And we probably won't. And now it's gone the way of, now the 3-point contest is the most popular thing at All-Star Weekend.
It is. During his era, which super athletic, name a super athletic small forward in his era that he supposed to have been in the dunk contest that was at most athletic as him. Who would you get? And nobody. Who?
I would say a Paul George. I would say. Did he do it? Okay. Yeah. Then I stand corrected. But here's one, right? In terms of a small forward, no. But look at it. Zion was supposed to do that. He didn't do it, even when he was healthy, even early on.
I'm talking about in Brown Prime. No, you going to Zion. I'm
okay.
Brown Prime. That 2011, 2010, that era. Who was jumping out the gym back then besides Blake Griffin? Blake Griffin, man. Stop it, bro.
I would have to go back and look. But even regardless, Bruce, even if I give you that, and I will concede that to you right now. So you got that point on me. I'll concede that. But what about since then, though? What about since then? We haven't seen a John Morant in the dunk contest. We never saw a Zion even when he could do it. We never saw an Ant Edwards. Like, why are we not seeing that? Because LeBron made it okay for them guys not to do it.
How LeBron got to do with that? How they feel?
Because he's influential. He made it okay. Because I guarantee you that if he had done it, the other guys would have followed suit. You know that, and I know that, man.
So Braun, he by him not being in the dunk contest, he didn't influence the other great high flyers to be in the dunk contest.
Correct.
Bruce.
Correct. Yes.
So that's basically your theory, Bruce.
That's absolutely my theory on why the dunk contest is going.
You a trip this morning, bro. Give me another point. One more point on why he blaming him of the demise of the NBA. What's another point?
His player empowerment mentality and his friendly business, right? All this teaming up stuff. It has really taken away from, and it's not all him, but it has played a major role. It's played a major role in taking away from the competitive nature of the game. Because if guys are buddies, because as we know, not my opinion now, as we know, your guy from Melo put it out there that LeBron was trying to team up from the very beginning in the league. He was talking about that from when they were rookies. I didn't even know it went back that far. I was like, damn, like this dude does not want to compete. He does not want to compete. And it's crazy to me. But yeah, so all that teaming up and friendly mentality, nah, that wasn't it. And I think that really hurt the competitive success.
You say LeBron don't want to compete is blasphemy. For him to take that 2006, 2017 to the NBA Finals with Stoch, Pavlovich, Ilgauskas, who else? Boobie Gibson, to take that team to the finals, man, Anderson Varejao, to say he's not competitive the way he did Detroit in Eastern Conference Finals, the way he did Boston in that Game 6 elimination game, to say LeBron is not competitive is blasphemy, bro.
No. I think you're taking that to a different place. I'm saying on the whole. Okay, let's try this. On the whole, would you say he's as competitive as Larry Bird? Would you say that?
Hell yeah. Yes. Why not? Well, you
okay. All right, we're going.
That's your guy.
Okay, well, we can take Bird out of it. We can take Bird out of it. You think he's as competitive as Magic? I don't. You think he's as competitive as Isaiah? I don't. You think he's as competitive as Kobe? I don't. Michael Jordan? I don't. Like the all-time greats? Nah, man, them dudes wanted to kill people. He's not. Nah, he don't have that. He's different. He's different. Not in a good way. And I think the fact that his friendly nature really took away from the competitive fire in the modern NBA.
He's a people's person, friendly nature type of guy. He's not a killer.
Magic was that, but Magic wanted to kill you on the floor, though. Magic was a friendly kind of guy, but he wanted to kill you on the floor. He was all about winning.
He went to 8 straight finals, so that's not competitive.
So yes and no, but what you're doing is you're really trying to move the goalposts here because look at how he had to do it. Make the super teams, right? That's not competitive. And again, all of that has damaged guys wanting to go at each other in the modern NBA. You know that, and I know that, man. You know that.
So Boston didn't put together the first super team.
No.
First big.
Well, let me say this. Okay, let me back it up. I don't know if you've ever heard me explain this whole thing before, but it's a very different thing. One, because all of those guys, let's see, 07 KG was going, I believe, into his 13th season. Paul Pierce was going into his 10th season. Ray Allen, I believe, was going into his 12th season. So all those guys were well seasoned in the league already, right? They were like up there, right? So cool. All of them had done that. And the big thing here is, this is what I always say, and I don't understand how people don't get the difference. The big part to me is when it comes to LeBron doing it, LeBron set it up himself. The Celtics were an organizational decision. That's two different things.
Okay. Truthfully, Golden State deserve to blame for how the NBA is now, not LeBron.
With the threes?
Everybody fucking threes every goddamn way.
So Golden, yes and no. I can hear you when you say that, and I don't totally disagree. The problem is Golden State played in a way that was conducive to their roster, right? Now the rest of these idiot GMs and whatnot tried to mimic that throughout the NBA, but they didn't realize, wait a minute, we don't have the same players. And when they did realize that, they said, okay, well, if we just do it via math, then we got a chance. So Golden State does play a role, absolutely, but I don't think they are completely to blame. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I get what you're saying.
So what's the issue with LeBron saying he can play 5 or 6, 7 more years? What's wrong with that, bro? I don't see no issue, but I believe he can do it. Now, why you believe he can't?
So one, we've already seen 31 games into the season, he already had to take a break, right? So there's that. Yes, we know he. Sorry.
Mental was a mental break.
No. It's physical as well because you watch.
He deactivated his Instagram account and everything. It was mental. But go ahead.
That was his own fault. But anyway, good point, Black Dynamite. Yeah, they definitely were one of the best defensive teams in the league when they were winning championships, Golden State. That's a great point. Yeah, but just talking about in terms of the threes. But yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for adding that. But yeah, where were we? Yeah, no, I was saying he already had to take a break, right? LeBron this season, 31 games in. So physically, I don't care how much of a cyborg he appears to be to this point. He can't keep going like this forever, right? He just can't. Now, has he managed to stave it off longer than anybody ever? Yes, without question. But he can't keep going like this forever. There's that. And then secondly, his ego is too big that when the fall off comes and he can't put up those numbers, he's not going to want to stay around because he's all about the numbers now because he knows that he's not winning any more championships. And he also knows that the numbers are the only way he can continue to try to fool people into putting him into this phony GOAT debate. So there's that. So no, he's not playing another 5. But he also said he's not going to do that. So
okay, listen. Yeah. All great men have got egos, bro. You got an ego, boy.
I do.
I heard some shit you said to a guy on one of these videos. You told him how much you travel, you that. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know which one specifically you're referring to, but
you're one. I read it. You and the guy was going back and forth about Jordan being. I'm not talking about Jordan, but this was the argument was about. About LeBron being a better person than Jordan. That argument. And you and the guy was going back and forth, and the guy said something you ain't like, and he hurt your ego. You get to go into all your personal accomplishments in your life. And you did, Bruce.
I would assume, knowing myself, that if somebody did that, they took a shot at me personally. But I don't. Okay.
Bruce, sometimes you gotta take the high road. He hurt your ego a little.
I don't take high roads, man. You take a shot at me, I'm gonna respond to you.
You got an ego, Bruce, because things like on your platform, your opinion is the only ones that matter. Let me ask you this though, Bruce.
Yes.
You say LeBron is not in your top 5. Who's in your top 5 real quick?
Oh, my top 5 is it's Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So you'll take Bird over LeBron?
Yes, without question. Absolutely.
Okay, before I get up the phone, why? Please explain why you'll take Bird over LeBron.
Yeah, no doubt. I look at what Bird was able to accomplish in terms of what he was able to do in his career in a tougher era against more physical league. And he didn't have nearly I would say he didn't have 1/10 of the physical tools that LeBron James had. And he was able to, I'm not going to say dominate, but he was able to easily be one of the best players in the league. And I feel like if he played today with this software, man, he would kill. I look at the numbers, the stats are relatively comparable, not the totals, but the stat averages, the statistical averages for his career are relatively comparable to LeBron's, and he didn't have to play in a way that LeBron plays in terms of dominating the basketball, high usage rate, and all that. So, yeah, I think Bird is clearly better. I think he's more skilled. Yeah.
So is Braun even in your top 10?
No, he's not.
Stop it, Bruce.
He's not.
Who's the bottom 5, Bruce?
I can't remember the exact order, but the bottom 5 has Wilt, Bill Russell, Shaq, Kobe, and Tim Duncan. Yeah, those are the bottom 5.
You talk about Wilt and Bill Russell. You weren't even born yet. You tripping.
Well, I mean, I've seen what they've done, and I got to respect those guys.
So you ain't got LeBron in your top 10, bro?
I just said no, I don't.
LeBron's in everybody top 10 across the world. Even motherfuckers don't like him, bro.
He's not in mine. He doesn't have to be. That's my top 10.
Why? Why he's not in your top 10? Because you don't like his height?
No, it's not that. So for me, right, when I look at top 10, it's an amalgam of skill set, statistics, and winning and eye test. Those 4 things, right? Skill set, winning, statistics, eye test. And I think he falls short in some of those things. Clearly not in statistics. The winning to me is real. I was about to say, clearly the winning, because all that losing on the big stage, more finals losses than any other former MVP, that has to matter, right? And then even when he did win, the way he went about winning in terms of loading up these teams and cheating the process, can't really get with that. Eye test, his skill set is lacking, but so that's me.
Will they win shit?
I'm sorry?
Will win? And what he do to eye test was so amazing that he was bigger than every fucking body in the goddamn NBA when he had 4 teams back then. All the little white plumbers and smoking cigarettes into the goddamn halftime break and goddamn cab drivers and goddamn mailmen playing in the NBA. And Wilt was predominantly bigger than every fucking body except Bill Russell. What the hell did Wilt win? How many rings did Wilt win?
He's got 2.
How many rings did Jabbar win before Magic came in the picture?
1.
Okay, then. You talk about winning. Stop it, Bruce.
Yeah, but no. Here's the look. Let's. You got it, Bruce. You got it.
You talking, bro? How many championships? Would Jerry West lose? How many finals he lose?
He lost 8 finals. Either 8 or 7. He only won 1. But that is why nobody has Jerry West in that. In that top 10 or in that anywhere near the
top 10 because of stats.
Yeah, his statistical production was inhuman. Yeah.
So what about winning? Winning don't count?
Yeah, he won 2 chips. He won 2 chips.
How many chips did he get to?
I want to say he's 2 and 3 or 2 and 4 in the finals, which to me that's the equivalent of 4 and 6. But but at the end of the day, like
he dominated. He was bigger than every fucking body.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't you just finish telling me how big and strong LeBron is?
Yes, I'm
So
saying.
in his era,
come on, stop that. You know Wilt was goddamn. Come on, you know they were scared of him back then. Stop that.
they were scared of him, bro. Okay.
Come on, man. Nobody could stop Wilt back then. He was bigger than every force.
But that's
physically than anybody.
That's the same thing I hear from y'all about LeBron. So how is it different now? That's the same thing I hear from y'all about LeBron.
60s. What you think LeBron would have did? It's the same thing Wilt did.
Look, man, I'm not even talking about you asked me what was my second five. I gave you my second five. You're certainly entitled to disagree.
You think Wilt would have dominated in the era of Shaq, Alonzo Moore, the Matumbo and all them? Hell no.
I would have loved to see it. He wouldn't have put up numbers like he did, but I would have loved to see that. I've said it many times. I would have loved to see that. Like Prime Wilt and Prime Dream, crazy, huh?
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm ready to get off the phone. One more before I get off the phone.
Yes, sir.
You talk about he's a media. He manipulates the media.
Mm-hmm.
How he manipulates the media? I'm trying to think. How do he manipulate the Brown? He controls. Don't you say he controls the media?
Not all of it, but
the Wolves play.
So we know for a fact. Number one, he has guys that work that are clutch guys in the media, right? For instance, what is it? Yahoo, I think senior Yahoo basketball writer Chris Haynes, and I think he also works with ESPN. You know Chris Haynes. So he was never like a LeBron guy like that. And then a few years ago, he slipped and let it out that I think LeBron had called and spoken to his parents, and he was really nice and this, that, and the third. And then all of a sudden, immediately following that, you saw Chris Haynes. All of a sudden, the meter switched and it just started leaning this way. And he's like, after that, LeBron could do no wrong, and he just turned into one of those guys. Nick Wright is a clutch guy. We know this. Chris Broussard, he's a clutch guy. We know this. So he's got major voices in the sports media, in the basketball media. He's got major voices there under his thumb. Even in the independent media, Draymond Green, he's a clutch guy. So he's always, LeBron this, LeBron that, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't want to hear anything else. So you've got that. Then on top of it, I don't know how much you watch First Take or listen to it or whatever, but Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins have both admitted that LeBron will send people from Clutch, sometimes Rich Paul, sometimes others, to get at guys if they say things on air that LeBron doesn't like. So that's part of it. Rick Bucher, longtime respected NBA scribe, he said on his podcast that Clutch sent out emails trying to convince him to vote for LeBron for these end of season awards. So yeah, LeBron does all that. See, y'all think I'm just trying to hate and make stuff up. This stuff is all there. It's all documented. And I'm sure I've talked about just about all of this on the channel on different episodes, but it's all there. And this is what I'm trying to say, man. Y'all can say I'm hating, and that's fine. But what it is, you're so conditioned to hearing the LeBron hero worship without context or without the other side of the coin that when someone gives the other side of the coin, you can't take it. And you say, oh, you hating this, that, and okay, cool. But find me something I lied about. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I think you got a lot of love for LeBron. You just don't like the way he do shit. That's all.
Okay.
You ain't got no love for LeBron. You got love.
I don't know the dude. I don't know the dude, so I don't love him. I don't hate him. I don't know the dude.
I love him like that. I'm talking about you got love like I like him. He cool, but I just don't like some of the shit that he do.
I don't have an opinion on the guy. I don't.
Stop it, Bruce. You got every goddamn week. You got two subjects on them.
Come on, man. You know how this goes, Bruce. Man, this is a media thing, man.
Hey, you start to be like Jason Whitlock and Skip Bayless, man.
Man, look, you can say what you. I see you like going to that Whitlock thing. That's funny, but it's all good.
Yes, you seriously, because the subject. You got to talk about LeBron every week because he drives the channel. Exactly. I mean, it is a business, right? And that's just part of it. But and I've said it time and time. I'm not lying to you when I say if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. I'd rather not. I think there's so many more compelling topips in sports. I'm a college football guy, die hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pro football guy, die hard. I love boxing. There's so many other things I'd rather be talking about. But guess what? Like, people want to hear what you have to say about LeBron. So, bro. Yeah. Hey, all right, man. Hey, ask the Jetsy tonight, babe. I can't wait to see you. We'll be working.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you gonna do about tomorrow, though? How you gonna do the show for tomorrow? You ain't doing no show tomorrow?
I don't know, man. I haven't figured it out yet, man. But I know it can't be 7 o'clock. We might have to do it early.
I think you should do it today and get it out the way.
We'll see what we're gonna do, man. I got to talk to the guys and see.
You know I had to call you up because I sent you that. I should have never sent you that damn video. Man.
Hey, man, I gave you love for that. I shouted you out, man. I appreciate that, bro. I didn't even know.
All right, Bruce, man. I'll catch up with you, bro.
All right, Bruce. Have a great day, man. If I don't talk to you, man, have a happy New Year, bro.
The same. You do the same.
All right, fam.
All right, fam.
Man, always a great call from Bruce. Always a great call from Bruce. Anybody else wants to call in before we get out of here? Now's your time. Go ahead, dial that number 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Give it a couple more minutes, and then we will get out of here if I don't get a call. Yeah, Black Dynamite came in, and he came in on fire, dropping knowledge, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, this was a big one right here. If LeBron was competitive, he would have beaten Wade, Bosh, Kyrie, etc. instead of joining them. That's a fact. That's a fact. And here goes the crazy thing. I talked about this on a previous show. I didn't even know until I was listening to heard it on, I think it was Dwayne Wade's podcast. Even while LeBron was in Miami, they were still trying to get Chris Bosh down there to join them guys. Now, not Chris Bosh, I'm sorry, Chris Paul, CP3. I don't know if they would have been able to keep them all, but to me, that's insane. Like, and that's why when Charles Barkley said a few years ago, he's like, come on, LeBron, you want all the good players? Everybody knows this guy doesn't want to compete. Everybody knows it. He wants to grease the skids and make everything as easy as possible. That's like, what did John Stockton say? John Stockton said, you took a helicopter to the top of the mountain. You didn't climb it like the rest of us. So, well, John Stockton attempted to climb it, but he didn't. Nino, what's good, my G? How you doing, man?
Man, UNC is crazy. Hey, I give you props now. I agree. I know you don't like Bruno. Well, I know it ain't personal. I know it ain't. See, a sports fan know what kind of like it. It's not that you hate him.
Right.
You're not a fan. I'll tell you you're not a fan. I ain't gonna say you don't like him. You're not a fan.
Right. That's exactly
Which is cool because these people I'm telling you the truth. I didn't like Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like 10 years old when AI was my favorite player. He was my favorite all-time favorite player. And as a kid, Kobe beat AI.
Mm-hmm,
and then being where I'm from, all the people would say, well, Kobe's a snitch. So we didn't like Kobe. But when I got to high school and moved to personal, because I held on to it for a long time. Okay, I was a real AI, had the braids, the headband. And when I got to high school and played ball, when we started I played junior high, and then high school started playing and paying attention to the game, I had to give it up. Like, no, this Kobe dude is different.
Mm-hmm.
He's a monster on the court.
Yeah.
But I was blind. I didn't like. I had a really hate it because he beat AI in them finals.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I give you props. On the show, man. You give props when it's time, undeniable. I believe that you believe what you're saying. So I don't got no problem with it. I believe you believe it.
I do, man. I swear I don't just get up here and say stuff just to say it, man. That's not me. That's not me.
My point making is Skip Bayless knows he didn't believe a lot of stuff he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's now the Michael Jordan stuff, he believed every bit of that.
Right.
I love Michael Jordan. But some stuff that talking about he knows. He know Bron got him paid.
Yes.
I think you more of style of play and the skill and the MJ. I can tell by the players you like where you go with it. So, and you give it up when you do. He do something good, you give it to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
no.
I want to say this. What you want to say?
No, I was just gonna say, like, for instance, that game that him and Steph gave us on Christmas night, man.
That was we needed that.
That was beautiful, wasn't it?
That was good. Hey,
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, but you be having the point because all 4 games was the truth. And who got hurt? In the Minnesota game when Luka got hurt, it got better for some reason.
Yeah. Because Luka plays a lot like LeBron, just without the athleticism in terms of having to have the ball all the time and play a very certain way. Play that Luka ball, trying to get that, playing that triple-double hero ball. And Man Down Sports really does a great job, Man Down Mel, of breaking down that particular thing with Luka. But it's a lot like the way LeBron plays. It just looks different because he's not as athletic. but in terms of having to hold the ball and control everything, and everything got to flow through him instead of playing in a real system, which I'm surprised that Jason Kidd allows that, being such an elite point guard as he was and playing in systems. That's weird to me, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I agree with it. Now, I'm a Bron fan, and I agree with that point.
Mm-hmm.
But Bron had a pushback on JJ Redick podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be 50-50 that Bron just wants the ball, Luka won't just want the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a combination of both. But they say that point guard, well, not just point guard, they just say players have a hard time running offense. Like, point guards are more scorers now.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's not capable of running offense. Even point guards come in as scorers instead of, like D'Lo.
Mm-hmm.
D'Lo is the same way, but he's just a shoot first point guard.
I think he's a shoot first point guard because of who he plays with. Because if I'm not mistaken, when he's not with LeBron, this guy's averaging like 7-8 assists, right? He can run real offense.
What I'm saying, he don't run. He gets out my assists, but it's the same way as Bron. He will pass the ball, but he's looking for his shot first.
Okay.
But I want to debunk two things. I'm gonna let you go and see what you think about this.
Okay.
We can kill the Bron debate on self-carry about the Olympics, where they had to play Bron ball and take the ball out of Steph hands the point guard because they brought the point guard in to help Steph Curry wide, so he could play off the ball and get his shot. So if they doing that on his own team, I don't think he was gonna be able to set players up on the board. That's not what Steph do. That was Bron do. Maybe a little too much, but Steph don't even do that on his own team. He's a run around like a catch shoot, kind of the old shooting guard. Ray Allen type, run around off screen, and he can go 1-on-1 with you, but he don't really run no offense.
Yes, now, but remember when Mark Jackson was his coach and they were running a different, I can't remember what scheme they were running, but back then Steph was getting like 8 assists a game, really playing the point guard position. He was still scoring, but he was like the primary distributor decision maker.
Steve Kerr took that and it kind of looked like the triangle, but it ain't because he don't got them Kobe and Kobe and MJ moves, but it's a slick version of it, but it's not I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
No, you're exactly right. Steve Kerr, obviously, because he played in the triangle for many years, he took elements of the triangle, but then he took elements of that motion offense type thing that Pop was running, and he kind of put them together. So he uses elements of both, not a pure triangle, not a pure motion. So he uses some of that, some of both.
That's what I'm trying to say right there. That's it. And my last point.
Yes, sir.
And I've been saying, you heard me say this, I know you don't agree with this. We can all agree now, basketball fans worldwide, most people, I was one of the ones, people not going to believe me, it's not hindsight, they said the big three in Miami, everybody panicked, it was an overrated experience. People panicked. They threw three players together and said, and everybody thought, oh, it was going to be unfair. But it was more than enough competition. They struggled from the beginning.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes. I think they ruined the competition in the Eastern Conference, but in terms of competition overall, it worked out.
Well, now, East now. I can't argue that.
Yeah.
They had the Heat and they had the Celtics and the Pacers a little bit, but I will agree with that. So that's all I want. You agree with me for these things?
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Nino, man. I appreciate the call, brother. Thank you so much for always being here, man.
Steve and Sid, man.
Shout out Steve and Sid. Those are my guys, man. Absolutely. Nino, man, I appreciate you. Make sure you have a safe and happy New Year if we don't get back on between now and then. And, man, enjoy it, man. And best wishes for 2025 for you and everybody around you, brother.
For sure. Y'all burst out that port now. Not you talk to the set. I know how you come. Y'all stay out that port.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have a good one, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
Great call from Nino as always, man. Nino, love having you here, man. So appreciate the fact that you've been here pretty much from the beginning and that you always show support to the show, man. That's love. All right, so I'm gonna give it I guess 1 or 2 more minutes here, and then I will get out of here if we don't have any more calls, man. Anybody who wants to give a call, number's right there on the screen, and it's scrolling on the bottom, 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. Give me a call. Give me your thoughts about all that I had to say about LeBron, his 40th birthday, his time in the NBA, everything he's done over the 22 years, so on and so forth. Yeah. Man, I cannot freaking wait till tonight just to freaking see this Penn State Boise State game. I'm gonna sit back and chill with that one. That's gonna be good. Freaking excited. And tomorrow night, got the Sugar Bowl. Whew. Sugar Bowl. Go Irish. Go Irish. But yeah, so this has been good, man. This has been good. I've enjoyed doing this. This show is cathartic. This might be the last show for 2024. I don't know. But looking forward to 2025 and bigger and better things, man. Bigger and better things. So, all right, I guess I'm going to leave it right here. Thank you so much for everybody that joined me. I really appreciate you all this morning. Again, have a wonderful, safe, happy new year. If I don't see you or talk to you for the rest of the day, enjoy it with your loved ones, and best wishes going into 2025. All right, we out. Peace.